Hey guys, it's Brian, and today I want to give you guys the review for The Walking Dead World Beyond Episode 2, Blaze of Glory. So yeah, the episode starts out with Little Hope, and she is blowing bubbles while her mother watches, and we get a flash forward scene where Hope is in fire, and it comes back later in the episode. She's surrounded by fire and smoke, and it goes back to her childhood and when she shot that woman. So yeah, and like all these things that Hope is remembering, her past, and so anyways, we get back to the beginning of the end of last episode where Iris is trying to kill that walker, and Iris is doing a terrible job. I mean, even though we see that Felix was teaching the kids how to stab a walker in the brain if they are ever outside the walls, Iris is just doing a terrible job at this. I mean, she is hacking the walker with the spear that she has. I mean, just not at all, what I mean, just listening. And it gets so bad, she falls into this weird sewage place, and the other kids, chase after her. And I have no idea how Iris doesn't have broken bones from that fall, just saying. And, Hope is worried, but Iris says that she's fine, and they even hug it out. But yeah, Iris has been kind of reckless, and Hope is kind of the concerned one. So, we think Iris is about to kill the walker, but instead she gets extremely nauseous. And, and the next thing she does is she pukes in the walker's face. So yeah, honestly, I mean, that walker just got puked on, honestly. And, Silas and Eldon, I don't know if they're disgusted with the puke or the walker or both, but yeah, they're disgusted, as are all of us. And, Iris is saying, like, that's what you get, which I don't really understand. And, Hope is just watching them leave. And this kind of bugged me. They didn't kill the walker. I mean, just come on, guys. Like, really? You're going to leave the walker? So Hope and them are walking. They're, in town, and they come across this huge destroyed building. Like, this is crazy. How does this happen in a zombie apocalypse? They mentioned they took piano lessons here, but Hope quitted while Iris continued. So anyways, after that, they decide to keep on moving forward, and that is a massive crater there. You know what I mean? Just like a bomb or something. And we get the intro sequence, and honestly, World Beyond's not my favorite intro. Doesn't have my favorite intro. So Felix and Huck are talking. They're walking around, and they're trying to figure out which of the kids, probably did this. And they're talking. They're going through, I guess, like their zones. And we have Felix, who kind of tries to bring up the CRM. And Felix actually makes a very good point. He says, Leo, their father sent messages, which means that the CRM are keeping it secret from inside, wherever they are. And, the CRM is not, entirely trustful. Like, Felix, like, he's speaking through us, you know what I mean? And we get a flashback of Felix's backstory and past when he was around 19. And, man, this is just sad. His father, it violated his privacy, went through his emails and found out that, he was gay, or at least was confused. And, he kicked him out of the house. I mean, this is not right. I mean, Felix did not deserve this. I mean, I'm a Christian, but what Felix's dad was despicable. I mean, a horrible person. Like, he did not deserve, like, he shouldn't have treated his son like that. Felix did not deserve that. Felix was even willing to talk, you know what I mean? And yeah, that just wasn't right. So anyway, Silas and Iris are talking, and she's eating some sliced peaches. And I don't know if anyone is shipping them, because honestly I don't even care. Anyway, Hope finds a bowling ball, which is actually interesting because I actually went bowling recently. And she actually names him Big Mo, which I don't know if that's a reference to anything, but if you guys know, please tell me in the comments below. So anyways, Elton and Hope are talking, about how the dinosaurs were wiped out, and maybe, it's going to happen to them, that kind of thing. And then Iris looks in the binoculars and sees a bunch of smoke. I was thinking this might be the campus, but it's in the opposite direction. And it's actually something they call, like, the Blaze of Glory. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of tires that have been burning for the last decade. And, tons of smoke, tons of walkers that are there because they're all drawn into that location. You know what I mean? So, Hope makes a very good point. She says that maybe they should just go around it, because, it's kind of dangerous. But, Elton's, he's pretty confident, says that he wanted to see the world. And, they have to do it. Like, so yeah, I guess Hope is getting kind of outvoted here, which I can understand Hope's perspective. She wants to be careful, you know what I mean? So yeah, the kids are going, and like the kids, I don't know how they're gonna survive this. They couldn't even kill that one walker back there, so yeah, and Hope leaves behind the can that Iris was eating earlier. So yeah. Anyway, speaking of them, Felix and Huck, they find the walker that Iris injured and almost killed, and for some reason they don't kill it either. Which, okay, this is starting to bug me now. You know what I mean? That doesn't make much sense. So we get a flashback of Felix uh, when the apocalypse happened. You know what I mean? And he is just running around through so much traffic. I mean, it is complete chaos. You know what I mean? This is just crazy. This is what's the scariest thing in The Walking Dead. Just the beginning, the chaos. I mean, bombs, missiles, the military. It looks like they're dropping, bombs or something. Wish we got more backstory on that, but honestly, who knows? This would explain the craters in the streets. You know what I mean? So yeah, Felix is, he's trying to call his parents, and you know what I mean, like it's just chaos, and you know what I mean, like he's actually been trying to run to them for apparently like 2 days since the apocalypse happened, but unfortunately his phone doesn't work because the network is down, and yeah, that's just crazy. So the flashback ends, and the kids are still walking around, and yeah. So, anyways, after that, we have Elton, who he acts all nerdy. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what he's doing exactly. Even says he wants to spray paint some walkers and study their migration patterns. It's like, okay, writers, don't make this kid too nerdy. It's like, come on. So anyway, the kids find this weird walker, and oh my gosh, this is it, guys. This is the bee walker we saw from the teaser, and this thing is so disgusting. I mean, just the fact that bees actually like laid eggs and made a hive out of this dude's face, of his head. I mean, he spits out the bees, and it's just so wrong. It's so nasty. I don't think any of the characters get stung, you know what I mean? But still, I mean, just what in the world? I mean, this is so creative. Elton, he bumps into a walker, unfortunately, when he tries to get away from the bees. And I didn't think he was going to die, but man, like, this kid is not prepared for the zombies. He didn't even use any of his karate skills. So he sprayed some spray on the walker's face, and the walker is like orange now. It's kind of funny. So, Elton trips, and, Silas comes to his rescue, and, but unfortunately, Silas does not hit the walker, you know what I mean, with the wrench that he has for the past 2 episodes. And I was like, wait a minute, is this walker like a family member of Silas? But no, that's not the issue. We later find out that it was just because it was a walker. And yeah, the kids actually run away. And this is starting to bug me, guys. It's really cringy. These kids are just running away from the walkers. It's happening too often. It feels like at the moment, they don't really have what it takes to survive. So Iris is talking to Silas about how it's okay that he didn't kill a walker, but it's really not. You know what I mean? He almost got Elton killed. You know what I mean? So anyway, they find a treehouse to stay the night. So yeah, also days are passing too far in the story. So anyway, the characters are tossing around the bowling ball saying Big Mo, but unfortunately, the walker from earlier hears them, and he starts growling at their treehouse. So no joke, like it's really funny he has the orange face on, so that was a pretty cool touch of consistency. But it's just crazy, like World Beyond has so few walkers, you know what I mean? So anyway, Hope decides to use a bowling ball, which is actually a very smart idea, because I actually wanted to see if this would work. You know what I mean? I thought it's heavy. A bowling ball is the perfect thing to kill a walker. So, Hope angles the bowling ball to hit the walker in the head, and after that, she drops it. And we are all just waiting for it. And man, oh my goodness, when I heard that crunch sound, I mean, like, let's be honest, we all were like, oh my goodness, like, I want to see it now. And we got to see the walker's face. Now, I don't know how it didn't die, but man, like, the special effects makeup was amazing, because that walker looked gnarly. So anyways, Elton finds a board game of Monopoly, which is pretty cool. Actually, I played Monopoly this year. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad they also used a real game. And yeah, if you guys know anything about Monopoly, you know that it is quite the game. So yeah. So anyways, after that, Hope is trying to sleep, but she's having some trouble. She's still having nightmares about when she killed that woman, which is Elton's mom, but obviously she doesn't know that, and neither does Elton. And also, the walker is growling, so obviously, yeah, that's probably another big reason why she is having trouble sleeping. I know I definitely would be. So anyways, she finds this doll in the treehouse, and she picks it up. And what does she do with it? She sets it on fire with a lighter that she had from earlier to distract the walker so that she can sneak behind it and kill it, which was actually very smart. I was actually getting really proud of Hope. I was thinking, finally, someone is taking the initiative and is just, you know, uh, just acting tough. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, Hope is struggling with it at the moment, and she pulls out her spear knife, her weapon, and I was thinking, okay, Hope, you can do this. You know what I mean? But Hope was starting to back up so much when the walker was coming towards her, and I'm thinking, no, Hope, you're giving away your advantage, your space. But she backs up at the end of this like pool thing, or it's like a sewer thing. I don't know. But she tries to trip the walker, make him fall in instead. But he kind of pulls her a little bit, because he grabbed her when he falls in. And Hope is, clinging on to the edge of the, I'm just going to say pool, honestly. So yeah, Hope is able to grab onto the edge, and she even kicks the walker in the face, which I was very happy with. And she gets out and flicks off the walker, which is kind of funny, but unfortunately she doesn't kill it. So yeah, that kind of bugs me. But anyway, she goes back inside the treehouse, and she tries to get some sleep. And we have Silas, who notices her, and he asked her if she did anything, and she said that she didn't do anything. So anyways, back with Felix and Huck, they are walking around, and so anyways, we get another flashback to the past. And when Felix was younger, he saw how 3 jets were flying above him, during the early days of the apocalypse. You know what I mean? So that's pretty interesting. I was wondering when we were going to see that. So anyway, Felix finds the can of the sliced peaches, and he mentions how they would have done a better job to hide this, you know what I mean, if they didn't want anyone to find them. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's suspecting that they want to be found. So yeah, that is pretty interesting. So anyways, after that, we have the 4 kids, and they're looking at the blaze of glory, or glory, whichever one, honestly. I'm just going to say glory. And yeah, it's a bunch of buses, tons of smoke, because a bunch of like burning tires happen. And yeah, so the characters are trying to discuss what they should do. You know what I mean? And Hope actually brings a very good point. She says that they almost died 2 times already now. And, how can they do this? This is crazy. You know what I mean? So Hope's actually making sense. And we have them drawing up the map. And Elton instead names it from Blaze of Glory to Blaze of Glory, which is the title of the episode. So yeah. Anyways, we get Felix and Hope. They are walking around at nighttime. They're pretty exhausted. See, this is what I mean. Like, the days are passing too soon. Like, every scene is day and night. Like, you know what I mean? Just like that. Like, hardly anything happening in the daytime. So anyway, the characters, Huck says that, they should rest up. You know what I mean? And they decide to rest up in a garage of a certain house. A garage with couches. I don't know. But Felix is, looking over his gun, checking it, and just looking at Huck sleeping, because it doesn't seem like Felix is able to sleep. And I gotta bring this up. So the actor for Felix, I mean, what an amazing actor. He's got a lot of charisma, and he definitely feels like a real character. So we get another flashback of Felix's past, and at the beginning of the apocalypse, he manages to find his home after 2 days, and this is just sad. The fact that his parents won't let him in, or they won't even come with him. He says they should go somewhere safe, and his father says to go away, and his mother, he even calls out to his mother, and she doesn't even say anything. I mean, what terrible parents. I mean, this is just sad. I mean, honestly, they deserved what they got. You know what I mean? Because Felix did not deserve this. He deserved better than them. So anyway, we have Hope, and, she's talking to Elton about how, if he's okay with being the last of generation. You know what I mean? Like Generation Z, the Endlings, I suppose. Like, kind of like the dinosaurs. But it's like, guys, there's a generation after you. You know what I mean? It's, It's the Judith and, like, Herschel Jr. and, like, RJ, you know what I mean? Like, kids born in the apocalypse. Like, I don't know. I don't really like it that much. And so anyway, Felix is still, doing his gun back and forth. He's constantly putting the clip in and all that. And Huck wakes up, and we see that there was blood on Felix's hand. So anyways, after that, we have the characters. It's daytime, and the characters are going through the blaze of glory. And yeah, I mean, there is so much smoke everywhere. The characters are trying to be quiet. So this is actually pretty cool. I'll admit, this was kind of cool, because the characters are not good at killing walkers. They are good at evading them. And we have Felix in class mentioning how you have to look at the sun because it tells you where to go. You know what I mean? It's your direction. It's like your compass. And unfortunately, they can't see the sun because it's so foggy. You know what I mean? The smoke is just so bad. And yeah, this was pretty cool. I'll admit, this was actually a well done scene. I mean, the smoke is just so bad. The characters have to get back to back because there's tons of walkers, but they managed to escape. They managed to get through. They managed to go through a fence, and we see all the burning tires. So yeah, that is pretty interesting. So we have Felix and Huck. They see that we are the endlings sign. So yeah, Felix sees a walker and he goes to kill it. And then we see that Felix is back at his old house, which is actually pretty crazy. He even sees his father, who is a walker, maybe both of his parents, I'm not sure. And he gets a little emotional. And I was thinking, I'm like, Felix, please kick down the door because it's locked. So I'm just like Felix, just kick it down. You know what I mean? The only thing you owe your parents left is just to kill them as walkers. Like, that's it. But it doesn't look like he does it. But he does kill this walker. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're going like a dark route with Felix, but I will say that Felix is my favorite character in The Walking Dead World Beyond. He's very interesting, he's very charismatic, and he has a dark backstory. So anyway, the characters are at the other end of the blaze of glory, and I think it's nighttime now. See what I mean? Why is it always like nighttime? It's so confusing. But anyways, the characters are discussing they can use a siren as someone has bait, but Iris says that she thought she was brave, like Hope, but Hope says that she wasn't brave, that she's a crappy person because she doesn't care about people and just does stupid things, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Hope is a good actress. The actress for her is good, but Iris, not so much. I don't know. So anyway, the characters decide to sleep, and you know what I mean? Just give it another day to figure out what they're going to do because Iris doesn't want to use anyone as bait, but Hope is crying because we all know what's going to happen. She is going to use herself as bait. She is going to go to the tower and ring the siren and, gives the group a chance to get through. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. So this is pretty interesting. And, there's tons of smoke, there's tons of fire. And yeah, I mean, Hope is just going by herself. We don't see any walkers, but yeah, it's very dangerous. And then the episode ends with this horrible song again, which I don't really like that much. So yeah, what can I say about this episode? I mean, it was not as good as the premiere, but we got a whole lot more from Felix. The kids, not great. I'll admit, I really am starting not to like the kids. I like Hope, but everyone else is just really boring and cringy. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for my review of The Walking Dead World Beyond Episode 2, Blaze of Glory. Please tell me what you thought of the episode down below. And until next time, guys, take care. Bye.